Senator Barack Obama gets his own look at what's happening in the war zone and how the United States is doing right now. In Iraq, he spoke to U.S. and Iraqi military and civilian leaders, listened to their assessments, and thanked U.S. troops for their service. It's billed as a fact-finding mission, and Obama's campaign stresses he's part of a congressional delegation. But the specter of presidential politics is certainly very, very evident. Let's go to our senior political correspondent, Candy Crowley. She's joining us now from Amman, Jordan, which is going to be Barack Obama's next stop, with a little bit of what happened on this important today in Iraq. Candy?
Well, there's a lot happening, Wolf, as you mentioned. Prime Minister Maliki seemed to give Barack Obama a little bit of a boost, even as the senator begins to wrap up his trip to Afghanistan, Iraq, and Kuwait. Barack Obama is 6,200 miles from the nearest U.S. campaign trail. But as he steps into the international arena, the imagery sent back home is all-American, commander-in-chief-like. A helicopter tour of Iraq with David Petraeus, the general in charge of multinational forces. A chowdown with the troops in Afghanistan. Basketball with U.S. forces in Kuwait.
Senator, how's the trip?
Great so far. Thank you.
But if there is anything better in politics than imagery, it is timing, and Barack Obama has it.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you so much for having me.
He arrives in Iraq as the Maliki government said it hopes U.S. combat troops will be out of Iraq by 2010, pretty much Obama's 16-month timetable.
But we had a very constructive discussion.
And though Maliki says his previous statement that Obama's timetable seemed about right was misinterpreted, and in any case not an endorsement of Obama, it was more than enough for the Obama campaign to claim their candidate is more in sync with conditions in Iraq than John McCain.
Excellent to see.
Likewise, politics and on-the-ground developments dovetailed in Afghanistan, where Obama visited with President Hamid Karzai and U.S. troops. The trip comes amidst a resurgence of al-Qaeda and an increase in attacks on coalition troops there. It lends weight to Obama's argument that the war in Iraq has distracted the U.S. from the real war on terror in Afghanistan.
We've got to have a clear strategic vision that uses all of our power, our economic power, our diplomatic power, our intellectual power, as well as our military power, to help make this world safer.
The Pentagon-sponsored part of Obama's trip ends in Iraq. From here in Jordan onto Israel, France, Germany, and England, Obama will be aboard his campaign plane on a journey funded by his campaign. Nonetheless, the Obama campaign says this is not a political trip. This is a trip to discuss substantive issues, and Obama himself told CBS, suggested that he sort of sees this as a ground-laying trip for when he becomes president.